Well, what a fun day it is to be joined in studio by Jazz color analyst Thurl Bailey, Big T. I am so glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Andrea. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, we've got a lot to talk about because there's so much going on for this upcoming Utah Jazz season, and you get to be a part of it for another year. What excites you about maybe getting back in the win column and seeing these guys all gel together?
You know, there's a lot. I mean, I'm not sure we have enough time to talk about everything that excites me, but Jazz Nation kind of knows along with me, right? And all the things that the Jazz have been going through the last 3 years or so, now it's starting to come into fruition. I think whatever Jazz Nation is imagining that can happen in their minds, I think a lot of it will. I mean, you look at the anchor of our team, the players who are going to be that main anchor of our team, the Lowry Markkanens, right? Keontae George. So there's a lot of great things, I think, that are on the horizon now, and it's time to move forward and give Jazz Nation what they've been waiting for.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, I think the Jazz fans have been feeling it for a little bit. When you know the Jazz got Triple J, and they're making those moves, and you definitely get excited for what the future could look like. Now we have the #2 overall pick, Darryn Peterson, and watching him during Summer League, you were up close calling that game. What stood out to you about this talent?
Well, I had a chance to really watch him throughout the college season. Watched a lot of players, AJ DeBanza, Boozer, and I think everyone knew that those three would really be the cream of the crop at the top. And before we even got the pick, I knew that this draft class was going to be a great one. So the Jazz had a great opportunity, and I think Darryn Peterson is the right guy at the right time for this Utah Jazz team.
I got goosebumps on that one.
No, really, because first of all, he can take Keontae off the ball, right? He can play point, he can play off the ball himself. I think he's an underrated defender. All those things that he's going to have to take up another notch at this level.
Right.
But I think he's in the right place to develop and do those things.
Someone else we got to address, because last year we had excitement over Ace Bailey. And my goodness, did we watch him just evolve on a team that was kind of ever-changing, but Ace still showed up, got that Rising Stars nod. How much of his addition to this team and his sophomore season going to make this team better?
Well, we haven't seen the best of Ace Bailey yet. And I remember back when he first came and played in the Summer League here in Salt Lake City. His first game, I thought he wanted to have it all right then, right? And it didn't turn out so well. But the Jazz did a great job of kind of reeling him back and pretty much saying, look, take your time. You're going to be a great player in this league. Let's develop you. Be patient enough. What I saw last year, what me and Craig Bolajak saw when we were calling the games, was the fact that this young man is starting to develop into something more than I think what people thought. First, he was kind of off the dribble around screens. Then I think he learned how to get to the rim with that athleticism.
Sure, we saw his strength.
Playing both sides of the ball, chasing down, block shots, things like that. So I think when you can imagine what Ace Bailey, Darryn Peterson, Keontae, and those guys can do together with a young but experienced squad.
Right.
Some exciting things on the horizon.
Don't sleep on the Jazz. Well, we talk about development, and someone who's been around to develop these guys is head coach Will Hardy. This summer, I stopped by Keontae George's kids camp that he put on, and we got to speak a little bit more candidly, and he took a breath, and he said, my maturity is all thanks to head coach Will Hardy. As someone who gets to be around him, be on the road, and observe Coach Hardy at work, what are your impressions of him?
Well, I think the first most important part of this is him being candid about it. And he's always been that way. Coach Will Hardy has been that. Whenever asked about him and Keontae, they both tell you like it is. And I think that's the only way you can do it. That's the only way Keontae can get growth, is to understand what's needed of him and how much potential he has.
Sure.
And we saw that come to fruition.
Step back, lets the traffic fly by. Free throw with a chance to win.
When you talk about Coach Will Hardy, I think, look, he's a great coach, but I think his best attribute is his communication skills at this level.
Right.
With players who are making tons of money.
Young.
Right. And look, I played in the NBA, and you have to have an ego in a sense. You don't have to overdo it. But I think for Coach Will Hardy to be able to commit to this team, especially the young guys as they develop, and a guy like Keontae George and watch that growth, it's fun to be around it. It's fun to see all of it, right? From my perspective as a former player,
Wow.
to see players like Keontae get it. And look, I'm going to go out on a limb here in a bit. I'm going to put too much into it, but I can see an all-star in Keontae George, for sure.
I mean, my goodness, he almost got it this season, and
Yeah.
and sometimes I think popularity plays such a big part of
Yeah,
it. But
it does.
he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
And you
He-
got to win, I think,
Right.
at some level.
Okay, so basketball season isn't here yet. We don't even have the schedule yet, but that's, September, October, we get rolling. August here, August 29th, there's a really awesome street ball tournament, 3v3, that you are at the head of. Can you please just take me through what's happening down in San
It's called JamFest. Truth be told, I started JamFest over 20 years ago, right downtown Salt Lake, on the streets. I had a few streets closed off. I had the main court outside of the Delta Center. And then Trax decided to come through. And
How dare they?
what were they thinking? So I put it on hiatus for a while, but I always had that in mind because, I'm old school. Street ball has always been a big deal.
Sure.
And now the youngsters are getting taught about it by their parents and grandparents. August 29th is our third year at the Sandy Promenade. The 3-on-3 is the anchor, the basketball part, the street ball part, but there's so many things. That's why we call it Jam Fest. It's a festival. We've got vendors there. There's all kinds of contests, from three-point shot to dunk contests.
Yeah.
You should put a squad in.
King of the Court.
1v1 King of the Court. That's new
I
this
should
year.
put a squad in. Unfortunately, Thurl, I only played volleyball.
That's okay.
But I love basketball, and I can D up.
We've got a spike ball
Oh,
tournament
that's
going on as well.
That's more my.
Yeah. So
That's-
go to jamfestutah.com. There's something for everyone, even if you don't play basketball.
I mean, a rhetorical question, but will you be there?
I'm there all day long.
Let's go.
Yeah, my family's going to be there. Got a great coordinator, Chris Coates, who helps me put everything together. So
Fabulous.
we're ready. Come on out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, August 29th, Big T will be there, and it'll be 3v3. Maybe I'll stop by. Who knows? Thurl, thank you so much for being here.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.